Now, moving into something that I really am impressed with, you had 30 plus D1 teams that were recruiting you, which is insane. And I want you to run me through that recruitment process. Maybe not each individual school, but what was the overall recruitment process for D1 schools looking at you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would tell you, it started my freshman year in high school. So I was obviously a switch hitter. So from the get-go, that had a lot of interest. And my dad, hit me the grounders. My mom would videotape, and my brother, who's a first baseman at Indiana Wesleyan, which is an NAIA school, he would catch my balls at first. And we made a recruiting video, and I sent it out to every school in the country that night. It took me about 4 hours, but for me, my goal since I was probably 9 or 10 was to play Division I college baseball. So that was my goal, something I was very passionate about. So sent it out to every school in the country, and I woke up in the morning with voicemails, texts, phone calls, emails, and first email I got back was from Oregon State, and it was actually after they won the national championship. So we ended up flying out there for a visit. Great place, great staff. Love what they do over there, big fan. And then that kind of carried over, and so continued through my freshman year. Sent all the content I had through videos, through updates. Sometimes I would even send the same email, because a lot of these Power 5 schools would get hundreds on hundreds of emails every day, every week, and I wanted my name to stick. I wanted my name to stand out, and for them to say, Chase Gebrick, we know that guy, he's interested in our school, right? So that kind of carried over. Developed a Twitter account, posted my content on there, followed the coaches, and then in the summer, my summer team was playing a game in Nashville. We were in a tournament, and our game got moved to Ken Dugan Field, which is a field at Lipscomb, because the other field wasn't ready because of a rain out or something, and the staff happened to just be there watching, and didn't get to talk to them. I didn't even see them there, and then I got a follow on Twitter, about a month after, and then got to set up a phone call with them and ended up getting an offer from them. So that was really, really awesome, and just all the pieces just fell right in the right spot with Lipscomb in terms of how many people I knew here, how it all happened. I just knew it was God's plan for me to end up here. So I'm very, very blessed I made the choice that I did.
I feel like so many people, so many kids, want to, I agree, want to have that gratification immediately, but also want to have those, those coaches at the games, and they want them to talk to them and do all these little things. And I tell my players and I tell everybody that asks me, you just need them to have their head up and watch you play, right? Like, just trust the process, like you said. I think a lot of coaches use that terminology, but if you really want it that bad, you can get it. And I feel like so many players really eliminate themselves just based off their own, like you said, motivation, or their own, hey, I don't know if I can make it or not. And I think like that really eliminates a lot of guys from getting to that next level. My next question, it has to be one that, how many walk-ons does Lipscomb have? And describe what you've seen in the walk-on process, because I know a lot of kids that want to walk, they'll walk on anywhere. Explain the walk-on process at Lipscomb, and what you've seen for those players that might be interested in walking on out of school.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would tell you, in terms of our situation, I am not actually 100% sure. I don't know if we have any walk-ons at the moment, but I do have a lot of buddies who have walked on at bigger schools. Some are currently walk-ons, and they absolutely love it. You see a lot of them, because essentially it puts a chip on their shoulder to say, hey, I'm going to go outperform these guys. I'm going to go outwork these guys, and it puts more fuel to the fire. Obviously, right now, with the situation we're in, I would totally recommend JUCO baseball. A lot of guys have gone through that process who would have been a walk-on, or who would have went to a D2 or D3 out of high school, but they wanted that extra year or two to be able to grow and get as many reps in at a high level as they could, just so they could see where they would be in a few years in terms of maturity-wise, physically-wise, and overall talent. And everybody I've talked to at Lipscomb who's went the JUCO route, everybody who I've talked to who has pursued JUCO, and everyone I've talked to who is still in the JUCO phase absolutely loves it, and they all recommend it. So, I would say that's obviously one where it's a family discussion, one that's up to the player, the family. If it's a good fit and you're a player who firmly believes that you can outwork every single one of those players and you can outperform them, I would say go for it. It's all about trusting yourself, investing in the process, and making the best choice for yourself.